Competition this weekend, and if I had won the first round, which I unfortunately did not, it's okay. I was up against professional chefs and they really brought their A game. But if I had continued in the competition, I would have made a second dish for the finals. So unfortunately we didn't get to make it there at the competition, so we're gonna make it here for you today, because I feel like pork tenderloin is one of those things that is super easy to make, but it looks kind of impressive. So if you want to be kind of impressive, let's learn how to do it. How cute is this? Raw meat, it's always delicious. We have what's important to take off is called the silver skin, and you can see that right here. There's fat on here. We want to keep the fat, because what do I always say? Fat is flavor. But we've got this silver skin, and that's just not cute. It's not gonna break down. It's gonna be kind of chewy. So we're just gonna take that off. So you just got a paring knife, right? Take my paring knife, run it up under here. Kind of tough and sinewy for using our big vocabulary words today. Let's get up under there. I never promised this would be perfect. Okay, here we go. And this is why sharp knives are important. You know, if you're in Phoenix, go to the Phoenix Knife House. If you're not in Phoenix, find out where all the chefs go and go there. So, there we go. Pork tenderloin, no big deal. Okay, got the silver skin off. So that is off. Mostly good to go. Again, we got some fat on there. Fat is flavor, don't let it freak you out. What I wanna do is I wanna chili rub this. So make a nice little chili rub for it, and a chili rub is super easy. You can buy pre-bought rubs at the store, which are totally fine. I like to add a little flavor and a little personality of my own, so that's what we're doing here. Got some chili powder, and we're gonna put that in a nice little cup here so everything gets mixed together super nicely. So I got my chili powder. I'm obviously measuring for accuracy. I will post in the comments below the actual recipe, which I have tested and works, and I know will work at home for you. But for here, I'm just cooking like I'm cooking in my home kitchen, which is throwing crap in a bowl and getting crazy. So that's a little bit of chili. Oh no, this is garlic powder. We had paprika. I love smoked paprika, ground paprika. It's just got that nice sort of smoky flavor to things. Some ground coriander seed, which if you smell it, it's very lemony and very bright. So we've got, you know, more of these peppery notes. This is gonna add a lot of brightness. And we're just gonna do a little bit of that. I'm gonna do more on the paprika and chili powder side. And then ground cumin. We threw the children in the backyard. I hope they're not killing each other. Are they killing each other? All right. Children survived. Where were we? Okay, little Lowry seasoned salt. I put this stuff in everything. It's like crack. I don't know what they put in it. It's like crazy good. So we're gonna throw some Lowry seasoned salt in there. Just first some salt, and then the cumin. I think we already put cumin in. A little extra cumin wouldn't hurt anybody. So, got all those things going on in there. I'm gonna throw in a little extra regular salt as well. Morton's kosher salt, just because I like the texture of it. There we go. Throw that in there. Stir it up. Stir, stir, stir. Okay, we're gonna keep track of the children interventions in this video because I think they can sense when the video camera's on. They're like, let's freak out. So, we've got all our spices here. Mix those up. And then I'm just gonna pour those over that tenderloin. Again, we removed that silver skin. Okay, got all that out. And now we rub Feeling of Love. And make sure you get it in all the grooves, because when you're working with pork tenderloin, you can see there's like all these different holes and areas. You just rub it into there, because again, every little surface that we can get those flavors packed into means you're gonna have that much tastier of a pork tenderloin. So again, you can see I can kind of pull these pieces apart. Just throw that right in there. Rub, rub, rub. We're gonna sear this up really nicely in our skillet over here, which we're gonna move to in just a moment. But we're gonna sear that up so it's gonna seal in all those flavors and create a protective barrier on our pork tenderloin so that it keeps all that moisture inside. So let's head on over to the stove, shall we? And so what are we gonna do now is I've got my cast iron skillet here. I've got it going over a medium low. This is just like old school cast iron. These things are the best because they're just, I mean, they cook things up beautifully, super easy to clean. Do not wash these with soap. People love to think, oh, it's so dirty. No, just wipe it down and keep on rocking and rolling. So I've got that over medium-high heat. And I'm gonna throw just a little bit of oil in there. I'm using grapeseed oil. You can see that there. I love grapeseed oil because it doesn't have a whole lot of flavor in it, and it's got a really high smoke point. So when you got an oil that has a high smoke point, that means it's not as apt to burn, because we don't want things burning in here. And throw this guy, oh, you can get that a little hotter actually. So see, this is half the fun of cooking, right? Is getting in there and hearing the right sounds. So I did want that to be a little higher, but we're just gonna stick it in there, let it come up a little higher, and then when we flip it, we're gonna get even more of that sear on there. Just up to about a medium high. Everybody's stove is a little bit different, has a little bit of personality, but this is what we got going on here. Let me wash my hands, I'll be right back. All right, that heat has come up pretty nicely, so we're getting a good char on the other side. And you can see, because the shape of this pan, this little guy, he's kind of turned sideways. It's no big deal. He's just gonna cook that way, because that's the size of my pan. Right like this. Woo! Oh, nice, buddy. You're looking good. I'm gonna move him down here, and you can see we've got these nice charred up. Look at that color. That is gorgeous. Now, there are plenty of people who can feel the meat and know exactly like what temperature they're rocking. Me, I just need a digital thermometer. So I've got this little guy. I picked him up at Bed Bath & Beyond eons ago. It's just got a nice little probe here. We're using all sorts of, oh, cute. Just insert that into the side, and it's got a little digital read on it. There's also a remote reader, so I could take this somewhere, run around in the backyard, and know exactly what temperature my meat was at. So I'm gonna go ahead and insert this into the thickest part of the tenderloin, just like yay. And see, we're looking so good and caramely. Whoop! Try not to remove too much of your flavor in the flipping process. There we go. All right, I'm just searing every side. Again, we want to really lock in that moisture, lock in that texture. So right now this guy's registering at about 45 degrees. Obviously that's not a safe cooking temperature. So we're just right now searing it off, and then we're gonna pop it in the oven for, well, however long it takes to get to about 125. That's the perfect temperature that I want it to take it out, so then it'll carry over to about 140 degrees and it'll be primo for eating. See how it goes. All right, so I've had this little puppy baking. It's been about 10-15 minutes now. I've had it baking at about 400 degrees, which is pretty high, but I started it at a pretty low temperature on that pork. So now she is up to 120. I put that whole cast iron tilt. That's the magic of cast iron as well, is it can go straight in the oven. It's really multi-purpose like that. So we pulled it out, and if you could just see, I wish I had some sort of like zoom fabulous feature that you could see how gorgeous this looks. But it came out at actually 124 is what I pulled it at. And so now it's gonna sit and it's gonna rest and hang out until it comes up to about 140, which is gonna be the perfect temperature for serving it, because it's gonna be nice and pink still a little bit inside. It won't be raw, because we don't wanna be serving anybody raw pork. But I am gonna take it out of that skillet. Oh my gosh, that looks so good, you guys. So I'm gonna bring that over here closer to you, but you can see it's got like this nice kind of char going on where it just seared in those beautiful spices. And then too, when we slice into this though, again, okay, we got 125 on the reader, we're gonna slice in, it's gonna be beautifully moist in the inside, because that's where people go wrong with pork, is they're afraid to undercook it, and so then they're gonna get this really dry, nasty pork that you've had before, and it's the other white meat, but not so good. So we're gonna let that come up to temperature, but I've also got this, woo, that was a fun effect. I've got some hominy. People don't cook with hominy very often. What is hominy? It is a kind of related to the corn. It's typically used in pozole, and that was what inspired me to make this dish, was sort of a deconstructed pozole, which is a hominy soup, usually has pork in it and green chilies, served around holiday time in Latin American tradition. But I took hominy, just canned hominy, mixed in some green diced green chilies, and then also some Boursin cheese, which is a very specific fresh cheese. It's light, it's white, it's packed with all sorts of herbs and flavors. So when I mix it into that hominy, it's just got this creamy, beautiful texture. So it's almost like mac and cheese, but instead of mac, we're using hominy. So it's a very fun thing that we're gonna use it on the bottom of our dish. And then I also have a mixture of pickled red peppers. I just did those in a rice wine vinegar with some sugar, along with tomatillos and some white onions, and also what's in there? Oh, poblano chilies. So there's a little bit of heat going on in there. If you've never worked with tomatillos, I loved it. I checked out at the grocery line and they're like, what are these? And I was like, well, they're tomatillos. They're like, oh, they're like tomatoes. No, not really. They're not even related to tomatoes. They're related to gooseberries. They come with this funny little paper on the outside, which make sure to remove the paper. You do not want to eat that. They're gonna be a little sticky, so make sure to wash your tomatillos before you cut them up. So I just fine diced them. You can see the little dices of them right here. But eating them, these ones I dressed with some limes and then some more of that rice wine vinaigrette. Flavor-wise, they're a little tart, definitely more tart than a tomato, but they have a lot more texture to them, so they're almost crunchy if you have them fresh. So they're just really cool to use in salsas. They're definitely different. The green adds a fun hint of color to your dish. So let's see how this guy's doing. Oh, he's doing great. I've been talking enough that he's come up to temperature, so I'm gonna take out the probe, and now we're just gonna slice it up. I got a super sharp knife. Meat it runs just like there's grains in meat, and so you want to cut across that, and fortunately in a tenderloin it's pretty easy to find that. We want to just do it this direction. So I'm going to go ahead and cut through it, and this is the moment of truth. Let's see if I screwed it up. My thermometer shouldn't have lied to me. If it lied to me, I need to go talk to it. Okay, this is a little overdone. I'm not gonna lie. It's still gonna be good though. I took it a little further than it needed to. Oh, actually no, it's not so bad. So you can see there's still a little bit of red coloring in here. I would like this a little less done, so maybe I should have pulled it more at like 120. Maybe my probe was misplaced because I'm being hyper because I'm videotaping this, but regardless, you can still see there's a lot of good moisture in here, and we've got that beautiful kind of charred outside, so these are gonna be damn tasty. This is gonna be enough for me and Ryan, right? I hope you're hungry. Yeah, see, this is thicker down here. So these are a little less done. You can see again in the middle of these, look how juicy, look how beautiful that is. Oh, this is gonna be delicious. Now you could serve this family style and just, slice these up and serve this up on a big platter, dress it with some of that salsa and let people serve themselves. I wanna serve up plates for me and the Rye Guy. So what we're gonna do is get our serving spoon, and I'm gonna serve some of that hominy here up on the bottom. I'm sitting here thinking, man, this dish is really great. I should have served this instead first round and brought the other dish for the finale. So I think this is better than what I served at the competition yesterday, which was a, a New York strip steak with some enchilada sauce. I went definitely Mexican, Southwest inspired. It's kind of my wheelhouse. It's where I feel comfortable. All right, so I've got that nice little bed, and I'm doing this kind of restaurant style because I know it's a Monday night, but we can be fancy on Monday night, right? So I've got a little bed of that, little extra for Ryan. He likes that. All right, so I've got my hominy there, and then we're gonna, oh, actually, yeah, this is beautiful. I was afraid at first. I was afraid. See, don't be afraid when you're cooking. Just embrace it, go with it. Oh my gosh, this looks so good. Wait a minute, where's my towel? Got some drippage. Gotta clean up that drippage. Okay, so you can see I've got that right there. Looks so good. Let me do the second one for moi. And this looks fancy, right? But this was not hard. You saw me do this. This is easy. And then I'm just gonna take my salsa here. Let's move this little guy out of the way. So get some of those tomatillos and those poblanos, because we wanna just add some brightness, because we've got this spicy, peppery pork going on. We've got that creamy, cheesy hominy. And so now we're gonna balance it out with this vinegary, bright, lemony, limey topping. See, we've got a great combo of colors going on here. And I'm just gonna take these red pepper strips and lay those ever so delicately and artistically over the top. Oh my gosh, you guys, this looks so good. It's good to be proud of your cooking, right? All right, and do the same thing up over here. I would just finish that off and then throw a little bit of cilantro Not everybody likes cilantro. I love it. Apparently, some people are genetically predisposed to not like cilantro. It tastes like soap to them. I feel sorry for those people because I love cilantro. Dress this up with some lime because some people definitely like to add a little bit of extra brightness and tartness to their dish. So I'm gonna rub that in those juices because why not, right? All right, and then serve that on the side. And you have got the dish that never was, my cooking competition pork, chili rub pork tenderloin over a cheesy hominy with some bright pickled vegetables. And so with that, enjoy. Ugh. This is fun, right? This is super fun. I did forget to tell you, all of this recipe and more can be found at jonisimon.com. I have a party over there, so definitely follow me over there. I'll make sure to link this specific recipe though in the comments below, and give me your feedback, tell me what you think. I had fun. I think I have a lot to learn in the video department. I think we can figure it out though. First order of business, childcare.